Silence the mind and chant Om. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om, the vibration in the cosmos. Om, the vibration in the eternity. Om Shanti. Om, the vibration in cosmos. Om, the vibration in limitless, in eternity, which has no boundaries. A sense of self-awareness which has no boundaries to it. A sense of self-awareness which cannot be destroyed. A sense cannot be felt tangibly. A sense has no tangible features to it. In that sense, it cannot be felt. However, it itself cannot be felt, touched, no tangible, but you can perceive only. And it is given birth. It is given birth. You like to hear that? It is given birth, non-stop, without any dimension, without any direction, without any sense of time. You know why? Because there is no time. I am going to bring some clarity so you can see some clearly. For one, somebody wrote me, they have been following my YouTube channel. And they wrote me through social media because there is a link of my profile of social media, yeah, on the YouTube channel. There is a link on my there is a link of my profile on my YouTube channel. When you click on that link, you can see my profile on social media, the most prominent social media that there is, you know. So they went through quite a bit of the pictures and stuff and saw my qualifications are mentioned. It's very hard for people to come to the conclusion where exactly I am from because I sound different on different moments. I sound different on different occasions. However, I try to maneuver that my accent. It's a combination of two prominent accents, if you understand. It's a combination of two prominent. It's a combination of two prominent and accents when I am delivering a speech here, or I am delivering the words of truth and I am delivering the words of wisdom, I try to maneuver my accent in a way that everyone can understand, no matter what part of the world you are. At least that's my intention is. At least at least that's my intention is. At least that's my focus is. That I try to make it very simple. I try to make it very easy to comprehend, comprehensible, you know. Excuse me. But my accent in the regular day life, when I am having a conversation, not on media, or I am not the eye of the storm which is here, basically I speak a little slightly different. If you are in my surrounding in person, yeah, you would see the difference. So somebody approached me, they have been following me for quite a while on YouTube. It is bringing clarity in their perception. That's my main motive is. And they said that I see a lot of potential. Would you be willing to perform some acting with a little bit of help. That was their inquiry. And I said to them, that is perfectly fine. I am, I said to them, that is perfectly fine. I am open to anything, you know. Anything means, do not get me wrong, because people like to see things objectively in present age, you know, because they are very restless within themselves. It's easier for them to sit around and, you know, chew on popcorns. It is easier for them to sit around and chew on popcorns and have a soda or two or beer on the couch, and life is passing by with no vivid purpose. And it's easier for them to look critically. First, they look critical on media, on different celebrities, and first, you have opinions about everything. You have, oh, you just about everything. You have your opinions. You know, you you draw opinions basically, and you come to the conclusion really fast, and you tell yourself this is how things are. As soon as you come to the conclusion, you say this is how things are. It's, I know I am perceiving the truth. You do not leave no room for the further progress. It's a process. Put no boundaries. Look at yourself as there is no beginning or an end. What you are experiencing right now is just a scene that you are in. If you understand, will make you understand a little better. We are here to bring clarity. You, the humans, we are here to bring clarity in your perception. We will make you understand a little better today. But also remember, to this person, the answer is yes. I didn't answer them over there. I just wrote, watch my retreat. You see, if you want something, you gotta give. I'm just joking. I do not expect anything in return. If I was expecting anything in return from you, I would be expecting money. You see, I don't ask for your money. Money cannot take you very far. Money can buy you a little bit of happiness here, a little bit of happiness there, a little bit of substances to abuse, a little bit of alcohol to abuse, a little bit food to abuse, a little bit video games to abuse. This is what you have become addicted to. This all money can buy. But these addictions cannot last forever. You cannot last, or you cannot hold on to even a thought more than a few seconds. If you remember, we have talked about that not long ago. Remember, we did the experiment and I asked you to hold on to a thought, and do not lose the thought, not even for a nanosecond. You can do it. Nobody can. But there are people who have made, but those people are not like us. There are people, not even like me. There are people who have made themselves available. There are people who have made themselves so receptive and their focus is so concrete that they can hold on to one situation for numerous hours. They don't even lose it for a milli nanosecond, you know. But those people are not easy to be found. Obviously, it's not your regular guy, you know it. You need to travel in different parts of the world. I'm not saying those are only confined to India. However, a majority of them is. But I am not saying those are only confined to India. A handsome amount of them is in India or in Himalayas, is the same thing in the cave. It used to be entire Indian subcontinent. If you know geography and you are aware of demographics, you see. So I said I am open to anything, but open to anything does not mean that I go around and, God forbid me, 1,000 times that I take somebody's liberty away, or God forbid me, 1,000 times that I basically um, do, or God forbid me, act in a way that somebody can emotionally get hurt, or no, not all these things. Open to any, your liberty or your freedom, basically. Your liberty and your freedom does not mean that you go around and dance naked. Your liberty and your freedom basically does not mean that you go around and, God forbid me, hurt other people. That is selfishness, you see, that you are only self centered and you are only thinking for your own self, but nobody else. That's number one. Number two, that's why there are laws, and I uphold laws very high. I have a lot of respect. I have mentioned to you, humans cannot be left alone. If you are left alone, there is always one who would mess everything up, even rest of the human, just like the Adam who is mentioned in Bible, that Adam couldn't keep his, curiosity inside him. He had a problem with his zipper, Adam had the zipper problem. He couldn't keep his curiosity within zip. So he had to just go and eat the entire tree of knowledge, and hence creation started. That Adam resides in everybody. Everyone is in the line. Somebody so impatient tries to break the line. Everybody is following rules, and laws are there, so everybody is safe, for everybody's safety, and I uphold them very high. And I know the people who make these laws are not foolish people. They are very smart and intelligent people. They analyze you humans, that how you act in the society, if you understand. And based on those analysis, based on those observations, yeah, they make the laws, because you human are not in the form that you can be left alone. There is always somebody who would. So open this in that sense, that I want to try within my liberty, within my individual right. I want to try things. Acting, yeah, it's not a bad idea. If you have a good script, if you have a good role for me, if you have a good scene for me, if you have a good what the word here in America is an American term. In America, what the word we use, a gig, I think, a gig or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not interested in the words, whether American terms or British terms. I was exposed to both immensely. Anyway, yeah, so if you have something, just bring it on. You see, I will look into it. I'm open to try new things. Because when you come here, obviously try new things. Do not go around or hurt anybody, God forbid me. That's not liberty, that's selfishness. But it means that try new things. Do not be scared of the change. If there is a bend, you know what bend is, BEND. You like to hear bend, huh? If there is a bend or a deviation, you become very scared of the change. You feel like that all your liberty would be taken away, and you feel very threatened. But no, life is constantly changing, my friend. You see, just like that, life changes like that. So be ready for anything. Expect the unexpected. That's the best way to live. A lot of people now, since you have your focus intact, and as I speak here, the words of truth and wisdom, without having to use my intellect until unless it is absolutely necessary, is still in the state of meditation, but it is very significant. We have talked about that. I even made the entire retreat one time on this particular clarity. But there are no words literally. There are absolutely no words that would ever explain this phenomena. Everything is a phenomena. The sound of my voice even is a phenomena. You are a phenomena. Creations and inventions are phenomena. Everything is phenomena. Please know that. So what happens basically? What happens basically? Excuse me. शिवाजी महाराज मेरे को शक्ति दे, शिवाजी महाराज मेरे को शक्ति दे, शिवाजी महाराज मेरे को शक्ति देने का, शिवाजी महाराज मेरे को शक्ति देने का. So everything basically मेरे को शक्ति देने का शिवाजी महाराज. Everything basically is a phenomenon, if you understand what I mean. Phenomena is something which is happening. The acceptable definition of phenomena is it is something which is happening in your experience but cannot be comprehended or explained through the rationale or through the logical mind. That's what we understand as phenomena. Anything and everything which is happening in this experience, anything and everything which is happening in this experience, but anything and everything which is happening in this experience but cannot be explained through a thinking mind or through a rational or through a logical mind. There are so many things that you comprehend. These are the ideas, these are the concepts and that you create and you give birth. Through that concepts you try to explain things, you put markers, titles and label onto things, and then you try to explain further. You see, that's how you are creating an abstract reality. But in reality, in the reality of Brahman, in the reality of cosmos, only and only phenomena are happening. The sound of my voice is phenomena, what you are hearing. So this phenomena, no matter how much words you use to bring clarity, it remains such an enigma. You have heard the term enigma, a phenomena. You see, it is called karma, and it is manifesting right now. A lot of people yesterday, remember, a lot of, I mentioned, I didn't do the retreat yesterday, but I did a small video. I asked you to come and join me in meditation, but I'm sure that you are very shy. However, please remember something. It's very important to remember. However, please remember something. It is very, very important and significant to remember that that if you come and join me here while I speak amateur without, and I am still in a state of meditation, even virtually, even if you are not in my surrounding in person, yeah, but even virtually, if you see me and hear the sound of my voice while I am delivering the live meditation or delivering the words of truth and wisdom, you would you would get more energy and more clarity if you come and join me. I'm not going to be mad at you. Obviously, I am not going to be mad at you for that reason, that, oh, you didn't join me is going to break my heart, or this is Bible or Quran, and you gotta, and thumping and telling you some foolish verses, or thumping the book, fictional books. These are all fictional books. I do not do that. Or I'm gonna mad at you because you are not watching me live. No, I do not do that. I encourage you, however, because remember, in reality, in nature, in life, it has no acknowledgement. It's a phone. It has no acknowledgement. In reality, as a matter of fact, between me and you, there is no distance even. You know that in reality, and I can see that way. Moving on. So what is happening basically? A lot of people are going through some really tough time. A lot of people, unfortunately and sadly, they are going through with a really, really tough time. I mentioned that yesterday um, in a small video while I initiated the meditation, but I had to actually also give time and pay attention to the people who are in my vicinity in person, and they are very eager to be in my vicinity in person. They are very eager to be in my surroundings, if you understand. They are very, very eager. The reason is when they come in my surrounding, they feel very light. When they come in my surrounding, they can feel my energy, and obviously they pick up on my energy. And this is my gift to humankind. I give it without any greed of money. As long as my belly, I put food in the belly, and I put a couple of pieces of clothes on my body, just like the yogi or the mystics or the meditators or the cavemen or the sannyasis would do. If you understand, we do not worry about the next moment. As long as the food, we can take care of our belly, and the clothing is on our body, this is enough for us, because next moment is not promised. Please know that. You live in the delusion that there is time. I would tell you a story, because when I speak amateur, and I encompass a lot of things. So just keep your focus intact and you would get my point. I would bring clarity on a certain I would bring clarity on on a certain point, definitely. And but I look around on that. Besides, I look around besides that particular focus too, if you understand. I look around too, because I want to give you, that's my intention, to bring as much clarity and try to approach something from different perspectives, from different views. That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of clarity in me that I'm spreading around. I would tell you a story. You don't have time. Lord Buddha, I mentioned Lord Buddha said, you think you have time. Next moment is not promised. Time to transcend karma is now. Time to transcend karma, time to be happy is now. No, I will do it after 5 years. In next 5 minutes, poof, person is gone. You see, that's how fragile it is. Please know and please understand that. Anyway, moving on. So there was a man. It's a real story, and he was from Europe. He was European. I do not know which country. By now, you know Europe is a continent. And he knew the wisdom, the wise people, the sages in India, the people over there. He knew that they encompass a lot of wisdom, and the magnitude of their energy is high. You can just be shush, You like to be shush. Shush is this. Shh. You like to be shush, huh? Don't you? Shh. This is shush. So you can be just shush, and you can be in their surrounding. And if they are shush, means they are silent. And they are silent and they are sitting in a meditative state. The kind of energy they are emanating, that's the word I'm looking for. The kind of energy that they are projecting, the kind of energy they are emanating in their surrounding. Only if you are in their surrounding, you can get a lot of energy and a lot of wisdom. If the person, those yogis, are silent, and you are silent too, you know. So there was a man in Europe, and he heard about the wisdom in India and the magnitude of rishis, that they have been in the samadhis. So he was eager to get the wisdom. He was basically eager to, he was very eager to know the truth. He was in the quest to know the truth, what lies. He um, basically was open to anything. Obviously, that's a sign of high intelligence. That is a sign of brilliant. He was a brilliant human being, a European. So he traveled to India, and there was no arrogance in him. He was a good, brilliant being, and he traveled to India basically. And over there, somebody told him, he traveled to that particular spot where there are hills and caves somewhere in India. I'm not entirely sure the precise location. This really happened. These events are based on a real story. And so finally, somebody told him there is this guy, he does not speak as much, he lives in just a small room, and the magnitude of his wisdom is remarkable, and the magnitude of the truth that he emanates or projects. However, he does not speak much. However, if you ask him something, he would give you the advice. That's how he sees that as a charity to bring clarity in human perception, just like we all yogis and meditators do. So the European went over there, and uh, he asked the permission to come in, and Yogi said, "Of course." And the European fella and the European fella got in the room, and then he was very astonished to find out basically that the room was totally and the room was entirely empty. There was no furniture in the room, there was no bed, there was no fridge, there was nothing in the room, just a small uh, clay pot. That's what the word I'm looking for. Just a small clay pot of water. Because we yogis and we meditators, basically, we yogis, we the meditators, we love to band with the water because we understand the significance of the water in this accumulation. 72 to 76% of your body accumulation is water. So we band with the water. And then he saw the clay pot and some water in the clay and a small clay bowl to eat and just a mat. This is a rubber mat. Have you ever seen a rubber mat? This is a rubber mat. But a mat over there and just a small cushion or pillow which was made out of leaves of trees or something. And he was very astonished, the European fella. And he looked around and he asked, and he looked around in his astonishment and he asked to Yogi, "Where is all the furniture, Swami?" He didn't even find a thing for himself to sit on until unless he sits on the ground, and that's the whole point. So he looked around in his astonishment and he said, "Where is all the furniture, Swami?" And Swami looked at the European fella and Swami said, "Where is yours?" So European fella said, "I'm just a visitor." And Swami looked at him and Swami said, "So am I." Do you understand the moral of this story? We, the yogis, the meditators, the Swami, or whatever you want to title us, we are not interested for the next moment that we have savings. Savings for what day? You are saving for next 5 years. You do not know if you are going to die in next 5 seconds. People fell like this, pal, with the passage of seconds for no reason. After that, autopsy reveals it was a heart failure, which is very quiet. I have mentioned that. My job is not here to uh, scare you. My job is not here to alarm you. That's not the reason I am here. That's not what my job is. But I am just telling you the reality. If the reality that you don't want to face scares you, so be it. At least you know the reality, isn't it? It's worth it. So there is no guarantee. So am I. I'm a visitor, you see. I don't have no furniture and stuff like that. Life is very easy that way. Life is very liberated that way. Life is very light that way. You see, you create certain type of a stupid fears when you save. What about if somebody robbed the bank? Of course, the money is insured, but I'm just saying, what about if somebody robbed me? I was walking on the street, I withdrew $3,000 or pounds from ATM. What about if somebody robs me? Well, you see, the more you try to save for a mirage, the more you are attached and involved in your psychological drama. You see, Lord Christ said very vividly and very, very clear, and there is tons of wisdom in Lord Christ. He said it's easier for the men to pass through the hole of the needle than it is for a rich man to go to heaven. You understand that or no? Heaven is not a geographical place Lord Christ was talking about. Heaven is not a geographical place where you would go, you know. Heaven is a state of the being. If you are so psychologically involved, unfortunately and sadly, in your psychological drama around you, and you are so, because the more savings you are, the more psychological involved you are. Have you not seen the businessmen? They are trying to do different type of diversities in the business. They are always and always eager to invest in things. They have no peace of mind. That's why they have become like that. Celebrities, money can only take you so far. Otherwise, prominent celebrities, they had the following of million and billion people around the globe, wouldn't commit suicide. Have you not seen that? Hmm? They wouldn't commit suicide. You see, they had the following, they had everything what you can, on an average person can dream of. They had everything what you can, and everything an average person can dream of. They had the following of million and billion people around the globe. They had the money in the bank, gas in the tank. Have you heard that one? So yes, of course they had everything, and people would just. But those celebrities, so prominent figure, the eye of the storm on the media. I mean, poor people, but they couldn't buy happiness from money, you see, and they knew it. My heart goes out to them. Chester Bennington. Have you heard of a band? You like to hear the band? Have you heard of a band, Lincoln Park? I'm sure you have. Chester Bennington, if I'm not mistaken, was the person who sang in Lincoln Park, like Abraham Lincoln. So it was Lincoln Park. He was the vocalist. He was the voice of Lincoln Park, Chester Bennington, if I am not mistaken. I don't think I am. And the poor guy, something was going on in his life. I don't know. I do not judge him for his action, but he committed suicide, you see. My heart goes out for him, and I send him healing and freedom, that he frees himself if he's stuck somewhere. Robin Williams, another prominent actor, Robin Williams, he was also a brilliant fella, and seemed very happy. But we do not know what a person is going through. You see, um, the CNN guy, he was also very good person, very nice being. These were all nice people, but out of nowhere, they unfortunately and sadly commit suicide. Obviously, they had money, so much money they had that you can't even begin to imagine. But there was something going on further. Money couldn't buy that happiness. Money cannot take you very far, you see. So karma is a Vedic Sanskrit word. The word is not karma, by the way. It's the English version of the word, the real word. The word originated, not the word, but word originated in Indian subcontinent. Word is karman, that which is done, or action or deed, or that which is done. It became, when English people back in 1800, they used it for the first time in English, or excuse me, in Oxford Dictionary or something. They used it for the first time. English people back in 1800 somewhere, they used the word in the language, in English language, they use the word, and it became karma. It's one of the most prominent and one of the most rampant and rapid misunderstood and misinterpreted term that there is right now in the globe. A lot of people are going through tough times, myself included. I'm going through extremely rough times. I can't even begin to tell you, nor I'm going to. That's not my intention. I'm not here to cry about the drama or type the status on numerous type of social media that how difficult times they are, and nor I'm judging you. If you are doing that, I'm not judging you. That's not the point. I'm trying to show you a clear picture that how what is happening and what can be done. You go to your mullah, he would say, just say Qul wallahu ahad or something along those lines. I'm not downplaying their religion. You know, that's not my job, nor I am here to downplay their religion. All the religion, I remind you time to time, are human constructs. Or you go to a rabbi, he would say John chapter 4, verses 5, rabbi, excuse me, the pasture. Or rabbi, he would thumb Torah, Obviously, I'm not going to leave rabbi alone. He cannot be left out, otherwise he would feel sad when he so they would, you go over there, you say, I am doing everything right, mullah, or I'm doing everything right, pasture, or I'm doing, you think you are doing everything right, but what is right and what is wrong, you have no awareness of that. That's why I'm trying to tell you why it is happening to us, or why bad things are happening to good people, why good things are happening to bad people, because your definition of good and bad is confined to morality, for one, and two, you do not know the bigger picture, but we can see the bigger picture. You go to mullah or a religious figure and you say, I am going through, they wouldn't bring clarity. They would say, this, read this verse and just keep reading. You tell me, has it made any difference in your life? No matter what the verses are, basically, no matter what they are, no matter what book, basically, no matter what book you are following, no matter what holy book you are following, no matter what the verses are taken from what holy book. You see, holy books are only for them who believes that this is a holy book. Not for me. This is not a holy book. For me, this is a fiction book. I have read all these books and I don't see no wisdom in these books. It's not going to take you anywhere that you shower your nose 3 times in ablution or this and that, or you go or you give donation to your pastor or your rabbi. It's not going to change nothing in your life. What would change anything in your life is clarity, which is missing. That's when I come in the picture. Why good things are bad happening to bad people. The good things and bad people, your idea of good and bad is depending mostly on morality. You understand that? Good, your idea of sin and virtue is mostly based on morality. Please understand that. Okay, that's why you have no clarity. That's why you think and you are accumulating karma, and when that karma is manifesting in front of you, you say, I'm doing everything good. Remember, are you following what I'm saying to you or no? It's very important because I'm looking at it extremely profoundly. So I need your focus intact in this moment in time. Remember, I said your idea is confined towards morality. Yeah, moral value is important. Obviously nobody can suggest you that get naked and run around. Nobody can suggest that because you're gonna violate. It's not a it's not a pretty sight for other peoples to see you that way. You understand? Nobody can. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you say, I go to mosque 5 times a day. That's the most hectic exercise workout day. 5 times. You see, 5 times. Not even one, not even two, not even three, not even four. 5. The society you live in, you take breaks for 5 times. That time could be productive, and you do exercise. If you want to do exercise, you can go to a gym and just do exercise, bending, showing your, and you say, I'm going. Have you not seen these people who pray? So much praying they are doing. You see, so much, 5 times a day. They even have these. Now it has, God knows, God help humans. 5 times a day So much praying. You see, my father told me these are holy people. I looked when I was a kid, when I was young, I never believed my father. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here where I am right now in this moment. I looked at these holy people, misery is coming out from the face. You see, misery. I'm not talking about the religion, I'm talking about the follower. Mind you, keep the distinction. Don't be a fanatic, and jump into the conclusions. And misery is literally coming out of the face, and um, or lust, looking holier, praying 5 times, doing all that, but misery is dropping, reflecting on the face, or lust for other humans around like a wolf. What kind of holy are you? And when you are talking, you are not saying no wisdom, you are not saying no truth, otherwise we would listen to you. But we listen to you in a way that as soon as 15 minutes are over, we can't wait to run away. If you understand it, as soon as 15 minutes or 20 minutes, whatever your sermon was going on, as soon as that time is over, we can not wait to run away. You understand that? Or or why, or church or synagogue, whatever the religion, it doesn't matter what religion there is, the follower of that religion are doing so much prayers, but still they are miserable. They cannot find the fulfillment or the satisfaction within. Because again, what you are following is not serving no purpose. It's not doing anything in your spiritual evolution, in your spiritual growth. You see, it's not making a difference. What's making a difference is clarity. What's making a difference is the inner self. What can basically what can make a difference is the clarity that you you can see the bigger you can see the bigger picture of things. You see, when you feel fulfilled, when you understand what's happening, not the fictional stories in the fictional books of monotheistic religions. You see, what has that changed when your mullah or your pastor or your rabbi tells you something? What that has changed? Has has it taken care of the problems you are going through while you are living in an illusion that I'm doing everything right, but not right things are happening because your concept is right is wrong. Your concept is right is I pray 5 times, or I go to church, or I do charity, or I feed hungry. If you do charity, if you feed hungry, I'm not denying it. I do not talk fiction to you. I talk your experience. And if you are doing that so somebody can take your pictures and you can post, or you can run your mouth to project or gain, if as long as there is a result, as long as there is a greed involved within you of any type of a result, your charity is zero and all your work is zero, and what you are going to church or mullah or rabbi is zero. As long as you are even thinking to get any type of reward in return. Or even if the reward happens, it happens timely. And you live and you just keep living in an illusion. People are going through very rough times, but they say, I'm doing everything right. So change how you are looking. What is right? Right is when you do not expect anything in return, not even a thank you. Now you hold a door. I tell you, you are very experienced. I do not talk to you fiction. I tell you, your daily life is small, small things. You see, I do not tell you big things, or I do not tell you I do not tell you which would take your, which would fabricate your emotions so high. Because once you get on your thought, once you are on a thought, and it would just you would just keep going. That's why I keep it simple. That's the reason people listen to me. I'm not bragging about myself, but I want to make it as simple and as fundamental as humanly possible. So everyone in the entire globe, not just in society, but anywhere can understand me. That's the tongue, that's the very tongue of wisdom or divinity or sacred. You hold the door for somebody, person is preoccupied in their psychological drama because they are like you as well. They are preoccupied in your psychological drama. They forgot to say thank you and you get pissed. You see, now you generate, there is a frequency in you. There is a vibration generates based on the experience. That vibration is not very friendly with you. That vibration attracts negative thoughts from the mind of humanity. You see, you pull the rubber bands, don't you? I give you the metaphor of rubber bands. You see, you pull the rubber bands, don't you? The super thick one. That's how that vibration, if you pull two side of the rubber band super thick, and then what happens? There is a tension. Those two sides of the rubber band, those two fingers, they cannot wait to meet each other because the tension in and the tension is attracting those two fingers, and that tension is the rubber band itself. So that's what happens basically. That's how it pulls. Imagine one side is the vibration that you created, and imagine other side is the thought from the mind of all humanity that you are pulling, you see, and the attraction, the medium, the tension is the intensity of the vibration which is attracting the negative thought. That's the rubber band. You get the picture of that? I give you the metaphor of rubber band. So that's what it is, if you understand that. That's and then have you not ever noticed or focused that once that happens in your awareness, what happens? You in your mind you are calling names to that person who forgot. The person was preoccupied in their psychological drama, and they forgot to say, they forgot to pay the gratitude to you, they forgot to pay thank to you, sadly, because they were also involved with their psychological drama. And for or any number of reasons, maybe the person was rushing, to pay the bond money so they can get their loved one out, or maybe the person was getting late from a very significant meeting, or the person was hungover. I mean, there could be thousands and thousands explanation for one scenario, you know that, but your mind is conditioned to think only one or two, and those even one or two are those even one or two can what the word I'm looking for, confide with each other. Your conditioned mind is only conditioned to think one scenario. There could be thousands, there could be numerous, but your conditioned mind could be one scenario or two, and those even one or two reasons can confide in with each other, you know that. So on ultimate reality, you are conditioned to think for only one reason. You see, that's far as the expansion, that's the word I'm looking for in English. That's as far as the expansion of your awareness, because you are not letting consciousness and the sense of self-awareness running through freely. You are very concerned with other people's opinions about you. The opinions that are not making any difference. If you are dying hungry, God forbid me thousand times, an example, on the street, starving, these people that you concern yourself with their opinions are not going to feed you. You know that? Or if you are in any type of trouble, they would tell you, I would pray to Allah, or I would pray to Christ, or I would pray to Moses or David. God knows these people. Pray what that is going to do for you. Hmm? Pray is going to fill your belly. Be practical. Don't live in fiction. Is it going to fill your belly? Is it going to put a shelter on your head? No, you need to work. You need to work to earn that. And as you do with the clarity, you transcend. As you do with the clarity, you transcend the karma, but not as you do with the clarity, you transcend the karma and do not accumulate more karma. You see, only with the clarity that can be achieved. There is no other way, you see. Good things are happening to bad people because your definition of good is also very confined. It's mostly based on materialism. You see, he has money. Oh my God, he won the lottery. Oh my God, he has the kind of house, and oh, he got the car, or this or that, and all these type of things. Basically, you see, your very awareness, the very concept of good is this, basically, in your mind, or for the most part. I hope you're getting the picture. You see, because what you consider good is mostly based on materialism. You see, this is no good. Good is when your life energies are high. Good is when you have acceptance for yourself. Good is when you feel fulfilled for with you, when you feel contented with you. This is what good is, when you are not rushing ahead. Your mind is not rushing ahead of you. When you feel totally at peace from within, when you feel fulfilled. Fulfilled, the definition of fulfilled basically is when there is no desire in you to a act a in a state of compulsion. Exactly, that's what I was saying. There is no desire in you to act in a state of compulsion. There is no desire in you to act of the remembrance. You see, remembrance, act of the remembrance of the memory of high you had when you abused a substance or you got drunk. That is fulfilled. When you do not act on your memory or on your karma. Bad things are happening to good people because of their karma. Now you have the bigger picture. Now you have the clear picture. Good things are happening to bad people because of their karma. Their karma is with them. Your definition of good and bad is mostly based on some type of fabrication, some type of fiction. Change that. You say, why me, God? God is not doing anything. Albert Einstein, the brilliant human mind, the brilliant human that there is. I never I hold a lot of regard for him. He was very clear, even though he did use his mind. But, well, he achieved clarity. That's what it is important. Albert Einstein said, God does not play dice. God is not interested to torment you. What your concept of God is even fake. You do not know what God is. You do not experience God. You think God is something outside of yourself. Your karma, you are facing your karma. I am facing my karma. I am going through tough times too. I am not here to judge you, because if I try to judge you or anything like that, the game is over. You understand that? My job is not to judge you here. My job is to show you the clear picture. God is not doing anything in your life, if you understand what I'm saying. God is not interested to sabotage. The very concept of God arises in your mind because you see the creation. When you open your eyes, you say, okay, I didn't do that, somebody must have done it. That's why it actually arises in your mind, the very uh, concept of God. If you close your eyes and you are not exposed to any type of creation around you, if you didn't see, if you were not exposed to anybody, if you were not if you didn't see no creation around you, if you didn't see nobody around you, if you close your eyes for your entire life, if you were not exposed to anything, any object I am saying, or any being I am saying, or any thought or word or anything. Close, just blankness. My question to you is, my question to you is, would the idea of God, would, excuse me, would it rise in you? That's my question. The idea of God, would it rise in you if you were not exposed to anything and you close your eyes, just total blankness or darkness? Would you think of God? No. You would just say, you would have you would have a sense of self-awareness that you simply are. Isn't it what the case is? You would have just a sense of self-awareness that you just exist. Isn't it? You have that. And that is the very sense we achieve, or we try to achieve in meditation. Once you tap in that sense, you just rest there. And then you would encompass a lot of energy. Then you would encompass a lot of power. That's what God is, you see. But the very idea or the thought of God came into being in your life because you saw the creation. I have clarified now. Understand it's your karma which is manifesting. It's my karma which is manifesting. Please understand that. everything, everything is out there to hook your attention. Everything is out there to bring duality. Everything is a trap. Everything is out there for you to accumulate more karma. And that's the quality, that's the game, that you have to transcend duality from your surroundings. You do not try to make sense out of objects. You do not try to make sense out of thoughts or people. You see, when you are by yourself, the very sense I told you, imagination plays a very significant role in your life. Imagine that you were never exposed to anything during meditation. When you go in a state of meditation, just imagine that you were not exposed to anything in your entire life. When you close your eyes, imagine that. Use your imagination, since it is playing a very significant role in your life. You might just as well use that imagination in your benefit, in your advantage, and that's wisdom. That's a smartness. So imagine, use that sense of imagination in your life when you sit in the state of meditation and you close your eyes. Imagine you were not exposed to anything ever. That's the best state of meditation. Nobody would teach you that. But my services to you is free, so I am giving it for free to you. Imagine, basically, when you close your eyes, tell yourself, I was not exposed to. Take the memory out of everything for some time at least. You close. In the end, what you would have, just you exist, isn't it? No God, no creation, no nothing. No God, no creation, no nothing. Because remember, you are using your imagination and you are telling yourself that you were never exposed to anything. So the concept of God basically goes away. The only thing which remains in the end, if you profoundly focus on it, basically, you would realize the only thing which remains in the end, that you exist, isn't it? You cannot deny that. Or try. If you want to deny, try that. Try with me. Have an argument with me, a decent one. If you try to abuse me, if you name call me, or anything like that, I will make you a history here. It's a promise. Here on social media or in my comment section, I'll make you a history. You understand that? Have a healthy argument. Can you deny that you exist if you were not ever exposed to while you are sitting in the state of meditation and you are using your imagination that you were not exposed to anything? In the end, with your focus, you realize that the only sense you have is the sense of your existence, that you exist, and that's all. No God, no creation, no nothing, isn't it? Try to deny that. Let's see how far you can go with your arguments. Anyway, I'm not here to compete with you. I know what I am. I'm not saying it with any arrogance, but I still do. I have made myself that way. I have put efforts. I have worked really hard to get here. You see, and so can you, basically. I bring hope in you where you can trust in your karma. So trust in your karma. Don't worry about that why this is happening for me, or I should have done this, or I could have done this. When you worry about these things are the weapons of demons, the counterpart of devil. You see, that's how it penetrates in your awareness. Don't worry about that. Only be concerned, what can I do in this moment? What the only concern you should have right now, what can I do in this moment, in this very moment, while I'm going through this rough time, to make this experience as pleasant as humanly possible? That's wisdom. That's what you gotta think of. Not that I'm doing everything right. I told you, I have clarified, I have proved in your awareness your idea of right and wrong is wrong. Your idea of right or good is based on materialism. Your idea of bad is based on morality. You see, good, bad, sin, or virtue has nothing to do with all these things. Sin is anything when you go against, any time when you go against yourself, you commit a sin. You understand that? Without human conditioning or domestication. Any time when you try to suppress, basically, you go against yourself. Anytime you try to suppress, you go against yourself, you commit a sin. Anytime you try to suppress what you feel, don't get me wrong. I know you, most of you humans try to look at things critically, objectively. How can I find a mistake what he's saying or she's saying? That's what your life, pal. But no, I no mistake. I'm telling you here. I have clarity. I know what I'm saying. I know when I'm saying it, and I know why. So, without human conditioning, without memory, what you feel is authentic. You understand that? What you feel, you feel. You don't have to justify what you feel within yourself or to anybody else. Without memory, without conditioning, without domestication, it is authentic, what you feel. And if you try to suppress that, or somebody tries to oppress, and you like misery, you commit a sin. That sin is any time when you go against your very nature, you commit a sin. That's what sin is. Sin is not moral condemnation, as most of you know. You understand? So think about what I said. Think briefly, listen openly, meditate generously. That's what I say. You see, think briefly, be open to any possibility openly, and be open, expect the unexpected. There is no barrier. You like to see the barriers, huh? There are no barriers, basically. It's an endless process of knowing yourself. That's all it is. So instead of paying attention why it is happening to me, that's not the question why it is happening to you. The most important, basically, that's not the question why it is happening to you. The only question that you should be concerned right now, what can be done? How can I make the situation? Yes, I have memory. I was abused as a child. What do you know about my life? What do you know about my life history? I don't talk about that here. I do not talk to people about it. The point is, it's not making no difference in your life. It's not changing anything in you, in the very life you are living, pal. You have a life to live, and I'm here to give you clarity. Yes, somebody did abuse us 5, 10 years ago, or it could be the most horrible thing that happened, or an accident, or we made a mistake. But right in this moment in time, it has no significance. The only thing which matters in this moment in time, I am here, I have this. What can I do to make it more pleasant or most pleasant? You understand that or no? Okay. So think about, but focus openly. Keep your focus open while you are listening. Think briefly, keep your focus openly, and meditate generously. Means there is no limit of meditation. Spend as much time as humanly can, and then bring your awareness up. Then you would become like this. Are you scared to become like this? Hmm? I'm asking, are you scared to become like this? Are you? Anyway, don't go anywhere. I know you. As soon as my what I say is over, you wanna run away. You don't. You cannot run away from it now. You are involved with me now. You have fully involved with me, and I dwell. Once you are involved with me, I become a part of you. You know that. Once you are involved with me, I become a part of you. And once I become a part of you, I dwell in you. You cannot run away from me now. It's too late, pal. It's too late. But I'm sure that most of my loved ones, my seers, basically, my followers, my viewers, I'm sure, I was just joking, but I'm sure they don't want to run away. They want to stick around because they're interested in truth. Everybody's karma is manifesting, not the karma from this lifetime, but the lifetime before and before and before. You understand? It's a huge topic, but I give you clarity time to time. Small things, but very simple. And I try to make, I give you clarity time to time. I give you clarity on is in a small way, so you would not be too get involved in the psychology, then you would understand rather clearly. I would rather give you clarity briefly, but more clarity in that particular confinement, if you understand. Meditate. Use the chant mantra. Use the mantra of Om. And do not use the mantra of Om. Do not use the mantra of Om when, like, you are performing a casual act. No, this mantra is very powerful. The mantra of Om is very powerful mantra. Use the mantra of Om in a way that every core, every essence in your body is saying Om. Om is a very powerful mantra. Do not take it casual, take it very seriously during meditation. Only Om. You don't have to chant the entire banner. You like to read the banners, don't you? You do not have to read the banners. ओ शिवा मेरे को शक्ति दे। ओ शिवा मेरे को शक्ति दे। ओ शिवाजी महाराज मेरे को शक्ति दे। ओ शिवाजी महाराज मेरे को शक्ति दे। अरे तेरे लिए मैं अपना दिमाग सरेंडर किया, तेरे लिए मैं अपनी बॉडी को सरेंडर किया। ओ शिवाजी महाराज मेरे को शक्ति दे। ओ Cat silent. Shh. Cat silent. Just remember, keep meditating, and I love you.